A lot of people's minds they're on blockchain gaming. And why? Well, for good reason, because a lot of projects have just went 3 to sometimes 10x in the last little bit. And that's what gets people's attention. Now, here we've been talking about blockchain gaming for a long time. Why? Couple reasons. Number one of the things that's slowing crypto down a little bit is regulatory intervention, in that a lot of the established industries have what's called regulatory capture. And that regulators are often in some ways connected. You could say it's corrupt. Sometimes it's just the way things are and it interferes with growth in those areas. But one of those areas where there's not a lot of regulatory capture, in fact, there's not a lot of regulations at all, is video gaming. And this is one of the areas that blockchain can change video gaming for forever. In fact, the change that's going to create in video gaming is so massive, most people don't even know what's coming. And we have some hints of this, and they're really strong hints. And people are starting to get a clue, because not like people are dumb. They're just busy in their lives. And they are inundated with too much information from too many sources, and they don't know what to trust. Some of them thinking they can trust like CNN and MSNBC and whatever, British television, and that's where they're getting their financial information. And surprisingly, it goes poorly for them, because those aren't good sources to be ahead of the curve. Those are great sources to be way behind the curve. There's this wave of technology that's happening because of blockchain, and most people think blockchain is just about Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin introduced two concepts actually. Cryptographic encryption combined with what's called a distributed ledger or blockchain. What that allows is this distributed database to happen with cryptographic encryption. And then when Ethereum came around, they created what's called smart contracts. The smart contracts allowed something special, because it's not that you couldn't create digital cards, digital collectibles, digital items for games before. There have been video games with digital items for 20, 30, 50 years. That's not new. What was new was that you can have verifiable assets that are originally from the game, and that you can, with cryptographic encryption, you can verify that it is from the game, so they can't be counterfeited. And that was new, even when they're being sold on a marketplace, not by the game maker. And that's new. Secondly, this idea of making money in video games isn't new. You were able to make money in video games back in 2002, 2003, and since in games like World of Warcraft. But you had to sell your gold from World of Warcraft on the black market. In fact, that's part of the thing Bitcoin was used for a long time, is selling your gold in World of Warcraft on the black market for gold, or your gold in World of Warcraft for Bitcoin, because you were trying to monetize some of what you were earning through a video game. So that concept isn't new. It just wasn't embraced. In fact, World of Warcraft, if they found out you were doing that, they would shut down your account and you would lose it all. Why? Because you didn't really own your account. World of Warcraft did. This idea of blockchain coming in and giving you ownership of your items, in some cases, maybe even ownership of your account. They may block your access, but in some cases, you own those items, even if your access is blocked, because maybe you were cheating or something. And so you can still sell your assets, because prior to this, if you got your World of Warcraft account shut down, you were screwed. You lost 100% of the value that was in there. And financial results could be devastating. Now, right now, there's kind of more of a hybrid thing going on, that a lot of the blockchain games, or even things going towards blockchain games, you still could, like if you got your account shut down in some of them, and lose it. It depends on whether your items are going to, like, are they going to your MetaMask? Are they going to a wallet that you have access to? And if so, then those are probably safe. But this idea is like letting the genie out of the bottle. And that genie was let out of the bottle way back in 2002, 2003. But the game makers were able to clamp down on it. And so the genie was kind of kept in the bottle, though it wasn't completely. However, blockchain is going to blow the bottle up massively. And the amount of money that's going to come in, like, people don't realize what's coming. And I said this way back in 2019, and people tried to argue with me. I bought Axie Infinity land, and people thought that was a stupid, idiotic investment. Axie Infinity was a game nobody knew about. Nobody was talking about. Their game hadn't even launched, and here I was buying land for it. And they're right that for 2 years, it did not go, well, can't say it's not that it didn't go up in value. For 18 months, it did not go up in value. It went down in value. Then for about 6 months, it went up to about what I paid for it at. Then over the next 6 months is when all the value happened. When? During the bull market. Axie Infinity went crazy and went to astronomical numbers. And then later in that bull market during the metaverse bump, the numbers went even more ridiculous. So was I a genius? Well, no, I just realized that blockchain gaming is going to change the whole face of gaming. And that I think that most of the people that had, if they had the background and understanding that I did, they would have seen it too. It's just most people didn't have that background. So they couldn't see it. They were blinded to it. And because CNBC wasn't telling them or some other source like that, they just couldn't put it all together. And it just seemed too new to them. Yes, more people are waking up to blockchain gaming, but just a little bit. The mass waves of adoption hasn't happened, but yet it's coming. And people are realizing it. Have they realized it massively? Well, we'll see. We're going to do some research on, this is actually a game, and I'm going to show you my research path. So yes, my channel is different than a lot of the other channels. Presently, I only have like 23,000 subscribers, or 21,000, I think. It's not even a huge number. And you think, oh, why does he only have 21,000 if his information is good? Because you don't get the YouTube algorithm to like you when you're covering things when they're cheap. So I've been covering these projects. Games for a Living covered before it recently just pumped, but it has been pumping for a little bit. In fact, since it came out, it's been pretty much pumping. And this was one of our Discord members brought to me, and he was doing the research, and he's like, hey, Rain, would you take a look at this? And I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Top level team, top level project. But I can't say I've deep dived into it. And so I thought, well, today I was going to deep dive into it anyway. Why not do it with you? And I show you part of my research process, because a big part of making massive money in crypto is vetting the shit out of projects. Let me say that again, vetting the shit out of projects. 70% of things in the crypto space are complete crap and time wasters. Now we're at the bottom of the bear market. So like you could buy complete crap and still do okay, but you won't do as well as if you buy the massive winners. And how do you know what is the difference between the crap and the massive winners? Well, I just actually filter out all the meme coins, because it's not that you can't make money on meme coins. The odds just are not in your favor. And so I'm not going to play something where the odds are more against me. What I'm going to do is cut out 70% of what I call the crap, 30% remaining. I'm going to be digging through that to find things that not only have great teams, they're in a great narrative, and the price is low. So here's our question for today with Games for a Living. Is the price low enough to be interesting? Because great team, great narrative, is the price interesting? Well, unfortunately, on the third thing, it's less interesting than I would like. The token recently came out. There is only 12% of their tokens in circulation. Realize that the vesting is going to start. We're going to see if we can find what their vesting schedule is, because that is the key component I don't know on this. I have heard that their tokens are going to start vesting. Now, sometimes after projects come out, they lock up pre-sale and other tokens for like a year before they start vesting. And it looks like their token launched in March. We're now in November, so we'll see. But they've done nothing but go up. Okay. Can things go up from here and go farther up? Well, I think in the bull market, if I'm right about how strong their team is, and if I'm right about other things about this project, yeah, it'll be a heck of a lot higher than here. So let's jump into some research. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at their website, then we're going to look at their socials, and then very importantly, we're going to see if we can find their token vesting schedule. Oh, interesting. Russ Gold asked a question. What do you think about Adult Playground? Sounds like a metaverse version of OnlyFans. Revenue sharing, tokenomics, looks good. Interesting. I've not heard about that. Interesting. You know, Vice has a place in people's lives. Is it something I'm interested in? I would have to learn more about it. There's a lot of Vice stuff that fails, and there's some of it that does incredibly well. All right, so let's continue first with Games for a Living. I am open to, after we look at games for a living. I want to look at SIDUS with you. Now, I have had the pleasure of meeting Dan Cohn from SIDUS. He is awesome. Love him to death. And so that's why I was talking about SIDUS when nobody was, when it was literally at the bottom. And it, gosh, just like 5x just recently. And that's unfortunate because I was hoping to dollar cost even more. So we're looking at this. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let's jump over. It looks like, okay, Our Games, Diamond Dreams, Elemental Raiders, Soccer Legends, Jump, Pump. I don't know what Jump Pump is. And it doesn't really tell me here. Newsletter sign up, but they're pretty early in their project. Another thing I like to look at is what kind of engagement are they getting on their socials. So on their socials, we'll see 54,000 followers. Okay, that's decent. I'm liking that. We're thrilled to announce the debut studio game, LE Raiders, has been nominated for the Game 3 SGG Awards. And so I guess it was nominated, and then it has to get additional votes, and you can vote to support it here. Cool. So decent number. That's good. I like that. Now, here's some of the magic. GFAL token vesting schedule. Let's see what we find. Maybe here. Yes, this is what we want. This is where the goal is if we can get it. We want to know a couple things. Okay, yes, this is exactly what we needed and what we wanted. So the team doesn't start unlocking their tokens till March of 2024, but that is not all that far away. But then they unlock over 108 months. Okay, so, and they did get 18%. Okay, so they start unlocking here. So realize that in March of next year, that's going to start unlocking, as well as the foundation tokens, which another 15%. So 33% is going to start becoming available and unlocking here. This 15% is going to unlock over 4 years' time. So every month they're going to get like 2% of that unlocked. So realize 2% of 15%. So 0.3% of the tokens are going to come into circulation possibly every month starting in March 2024. Plus, this is going to put about half of that possibly into circulation every month. Looks like already their private round has been unlocking for a little while now, and that hasn't dumped the price. Remember, the price has been pumping. Their liquidity tokens were unlocked right away. Looks like there's a linear unlock. So more of those are unlocked, but that's into the liquidity. That's what helps them put up the liquidity to get on exchanges, or sometimes with Uniswap or PancakeSwap or whatever their token is on. They did get linear unlock for marketing of 7.5%. So this is the goal. It looks like also their developers, their 5% set aside for developers has started unlocking. And it started a little bit ago after a 3-month cliff, and then it's unlocking over 45 months. The public sale unlocked immediately, but it was only 2% of the total tokens. Advisor starts unlocking next year, like probably in March, and KOLs start unlocking right away, but a linear unlock for 6 months. And so those are all vested. So this vesting is a little bit better than I expected. March of next year, some decent numbers are going to start coming in, but that's not bad at all. Let's see if there's anything else we can learn here. Unlock events, private round, liquidity. So it's just going through some more of those numbers there. It looks like this is actually a really good chart and able to do a good research or some additional research on this. So I expected that more had been held off right away and that there would be more unlocks coming soon. So it looks like there isn't a big change till March. Now, does that mean they are a good buy at this price? Well, fair to say possibly a decent buy at this price. Where do I think a project like this can go on the bull market? Well, a project like this could go to $1 billion market cap or more. So you may be thinking, well, Rain, that's 25x plus from here. And it is. It could go to that. I don't know that it'll go to that. It could go to that, could go higher. But I like juicy low market caps. And this one has gone past that, unfortunately. I do really like, though, let's see if their website shows their team, because part of the reason I like them is who is behind it. Well, this website isn't helping me out a whole lot. So let's look for Game for a Living team and see what we can get. Aha, this is what we want. I do not want to pull up LinkedIn. Okay. Manel Sort. Manel. Boy. Established in 2021, our core team includes Manel Sort, former first vice president of Activision Blizzard. That's a big deal. Trip Hopkins, founder and former CEO of both Electronic Arts and Digital Chocolate. That's a big deal. That's as big of a deal as you get. Emmy Award nominee Javier Leon as art director. Another big deal. Christian Gascons and Mark Tormo, both with backgrounds at Blizzard Entertainment. With this rock-solid foundation, we passionately craft cutting-edge games that inspire and captivate players across generations through immersive experiences. Okay, so in the blockchain gaming spaces, this is one of the strongest resumes. Well, I guess it shows up in the camera this way, but screen's off to the right on mine. Strongest backgrounds that you can get for what they're doing. So that is why, gosh, it's not even after it's pumped, it's not a terrible price. It's just, though, a good price. I wish it was even cheaper, but it just is what it is. Now, I did recently release a course, and I just put an update in that course on two projects that nobody is paying attention to, except for my Rainmaker family that has taken the course, and those in our private Discord that you do not want to miss, because they have not pumped massively, and it is massive intellectual property with top brands that you will recognize that nobody's paying attention to, because people in a bear market get inundated and they forget. But I like to go around and revisit and see where price is at. And last month when I checked where price is, I was like, holy crap. If you're interested in that, there is a link below. There's an 80% off coupon code you can use. Normally it's $89 for the course. And then with 80% off, it's actually too inexpensive. And I say too inexpensive because a bunch of you all have been buying the course and pumping the price on me, because I continue dollar cost averaging into these two projects. And yes, my audience is pumping the price on me, and I hate it and I love it at the same time. I love it because I believe those projects are going to do exceptionally well from where the prices are at now. And I love it because I want to see many of you do so well. But I will not release that information for free, because you won't take it as valuable. And shoot, you're costing me more than what people are paying for the course, because then I'm competing against you for the very low floors on these two projects. And I'm okay with that, as long as you take it seriously and do well with it. All right, let me just jump in, see what other things we have. Justin's got shades. Finna pick up some mask. Interesting. Greetings. Have you heard of Ethereum? I have not. Yeah, smart contracts, proof of work, and ISO 222 standards. Interesting. Would love to hear your opinion on CPH. We can start going through some things. That was one I addressed earlier. Thanks for everything you do, Crypto Rain. You share information that people take money for, so I'm really thankful for that. Yes, it's been really good. We are running an experiment with the Crypto Rain channel, because yes, you do not monetize well when you cover things when they're really down, and YouTube does not push your content out to a lot of new people, because you're covering projects nobody is searching for, because when they're out of the narrative and when the prices are the best, that's when nobody is searching for them. So yes, it is not a great way to grow a huge YouTube channel. And so the experiment was not how big of a YouTube channel could I grow? The experiment was, if I share these principles that made me millions of dollars in the last bull run from the bear market to the bull market, and that I knew from 20 years investing prior to that, and I kind of refined during that bear market into the bull market, if I share that with the audience, even though it won't grow my channel massively, will we be able to grow a network of solid and shakable crypto investors that so many of the audience members do incredibly well? What could that lead to? And the truth is, I don't know what that all leads to. It's an experiment, but I think it's going to lead to a lot of people in this audience doing extremely well. And then what happens from there? I look forward to finding out, because I do believe that if you help enough people get what they want, you will always have what you want. And I can't say what it fully adds up to yet, but just good things, because if many of you reach your financial goals, I don't see how that goes bad. Golden assets. Your stream with Randy made me buy another million OMI. Good job, brother. That's my analysis too, that OMI is massively undervalued, and thank you to whoever is dumping it. I appreciate it. Somebody's got to sell the bottom. It's just not going to be me. Come on, everyone, put a like on the video. Don't be lazy. I appreciate that. Shrap just released last week for the game Shrapnel, if you want to check that out. I'd like to check that out. It might not be a good price because Shrapnel's got a lot of hype. People's minds are on blockchain gaming. I like to buy when the hype comes off. And right now, the hype is on, especially projects like Games for a Living. Now, I did want to talk very clearly about how things sometimes play out from here. So Games for a Living has pumped up. It's gone 545% up. In other words, 5.5x from its lows. One of two things happens. A massive pump from here continues and we have a blow off top. That's not super likely. Do you know what often happens with this? That people realize we're still not completely out of the bear market, and the narrative changes to something else. And then guess what happens with that? These projects get cheaper. I don't know about you, but I like cheaper prices. So that's why I don't have a single GFAL token yet. And it's not that this is a bad price. There are just better options that I am chasing that nobody else is chasing, rather than chasing, I call it chasing a boat I missed. Did I miss this boat? Yes. Do I regret that I didn't visit it somewhere around this part? Yes. Can I change time to fix that? No. So am I going to buy it after it just went 5x? Well, I would if all the other options I was interested in had just gone 10x. Absolutely. I'd be loading up on Games for a Living. I think they're in the future going to be a lot higher than this. In the near future, though, there is this chance that their price is lower. And so what I'm going to do is continue dollar cost averaging and other things that I feel are massively undervalued, and hope that this ship comes back to port. So people say, Rain, but what if it doesn't come back to port? Well, shit, I missed it then. But what I'm not going to do is jump off the dock and swim and expend all that energy, time to swim after a boat that I missed, when there are other things at the dock at massively undervalued prices. Even though I really like this one, and I really like this one. I would love to interview the team if anyone knows them or they share this with them. This is the kind of project that I look for, is Games for a Living. And had I known about their token launch and everything, I would have been covering them then, because I look for great teams, and literally you can't get much of a better resume than this team has. Now, I'm still bullish on a lot of other things, like I've been covering Myria, and in some ways it's unfortunate the token just went 3x, because I did cover that one at the bottom, and for some people didn't agree, that they thought it was too cheap and they didn't load up. And many of you did agree that you liked it. You did your own research and you made the decision at that price that you liked it. And so that's not on me for you making that decision. That's on you. You made that decision. And so now you're 3x up. All right, let's take a look over at SIDUS. SIDUS is another one I like, but a few things we're going to look at. This is SIDUS's main token. So this looks like an absolute disaster of a chart until we switch it to log scale and we realize, okay, so at the way up at the high, it was 18 cents. It went all the way down to, that's a lot of zeros, 3.00071. And it has since gone 4.5x. Cool. I did cover it right down here. And in my Discord, people were asking me what gaming projects I liked, and SIDUS was one of them. However, SIDUS isn't the token I was most interested in. The token I was most interested in was this one, Senate. Why? Because they have 2 tokens, and this one has slightly different use cases over SIDUS. Had a lower market cap. I think it still has a lower market cap. Yes, it still has a lower market cap. So SIDUS's token has a $26 million market cap. Senate's market cap was even lower, and it's still lower than the SIDUS token, but I like the Senate token a little bit better. And it's just not as well known because it doesn't have the same name as the project. And so a lot of people miss this. So 11 million is the market cap, but at the time the market cap was like abysmally low. In fact, gosh, this has gone about 7x from when I was talking about it. So, no, it's just gone just over 5x. Cool. So it absolutely like took off, and it may even break to the upside a little bit more, which would be cool. But the really good price on this was down here when nobody was talking about it and everyone was freaked out and scared. They then announced they're going to burn a bunch of the tokens. And so that's part of what jumped it up. But also blockchain gaming started to come a little bit into focus, just a little bit, not massively, but a little bit. And even with that little bit, you see that across the blockchain gaming space, it pumped tokens, even including Gala. Even though Gala has a lawsuit between the founders, some other things going wrong with it, it even pumped Gala. All right. So SIDUS, let's look at a few things. Let's first look at their website. Let's see how good it is. Okay. Top level website. +14 games in development. They've got a few games out there. I played some of them. Wow. This hero looks freaking cool. That is I don't know how to pronounce that. SIDUS market exclusive, 610 bizarre NFTs. Interesting. Get yours. I don't know if I'm going to buy some of their NFTs. I'm cautious on NFTs that I buy. I do like NFTs within certain boundaries. I don't buy many profile pic NFT projects. I don't buy a lot of the NFTs for the different games. I think in the future, buying different NFT characters from the games themselves, if you pay for them at all, it'd be pretty cheap. And that's not to say that some won't be expensive. What I really like is the idea is that the really expensive NFTs within the game are earned through playing the game. And they have so much value because of the stats behind them or their rarity that then players can sell them to you. And that player makes the majority of the money. I like that model a lot. Now, this is an interesting comparison on the tokenomics. This has a little bit different numbers than what we were just looking at because this is saying the Senate token is 10.9 million, which matches what we were looking at before. This is saying the market cap on the SIDUS token is 80 million, which is getting a little bit up there. That contradicts what I'm seeing on CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is saying just 26 million. And it has pumped tremendously. So SIDUS's token has gone up. They do have different purposes within the game, but let's continue our research by going to now their Twitter. And Dan and his team who run this are very active on Twitter. In fact, he is very passionate about what he's building here and very driven, and he seems like he has endless amounts of energy. So I've passively known Dan through some Telegram groups that I'm in, and when I was going to NFT NYC, I said in that group that I was going, and Dan said he was going and said if anyone wanted to meet with him, meet up there. And I was like, yes, I want to meet with him, and spoke with him. And after I spoke with him, I was just way more bullish on this project. I was like, I think this is going to be one of the winners of the next bull market. And they've been doing a really, really good job at releasing some fun, smaller development games while they're working on their bigger metaverse, which is going to take a while to have that bigger metaverse out. So they're releasing different versions of games and then upgrading them so that they have stuff that you can do as they're building the bigger metaverse, which is the smart way of doing game development. Star Atlas is doing the same thing and has been doing the same thing for a couple of years, because it takes 4 to 10 years to build an amazing like MMORPG. And yet in the crypto space, our attention span isn't very long. So the only way to effectively do that in the crypto space is to be giving people little mini games and other things that you can then upgrade while you're working on the bigger game, so that people have something to do and something to play. So SIDUS also has been releasing books on Amazon and really kind of growing their storytelling of their metaverse. Smart thing to do. SIDUS Epic burn. So it looks like they're probably burning the SIDUS token. It looks like they're also possibly, I know that they had talked about burning the Senate token as well. So you're just seeing they're very active on Twitter, and that's what I like to see. Let's go back to see what the numbers on Twitter are. Wow, 390,000 followers. Now, they did come out in somewhat the bull market before. So some of those followers might be dead to crypto right now. That does not mean they won't come back, but they might be dead to crypto right now. You could see that they launched here in late 2021. Their token was tradable, and it went, this is their SIDUS token. It was all the way to like 14 cents. And now it's at 0.3 cents, even after having come up a bunch. And it looks like their percent token supply in circulation is about 1/4 of their SIDUS tokens are in circulation. Though if they have a burn, they will that will go down. And so their Senate token looks like 32% of that is in circulation right now, as I look at their Senate token. All right, let me get to some more questions. Nice juicy discount in the market today. Do you see the low? What's up, brother? How do you feel about Metaverse X, eGold compete with major L1s? Metaverse X, EGLD, Metaverse X. I'm not certain what project that is. Rain, I hope you're doing good. I saw some chart where OMI is behaving the exact opposite of Bitcoin. I think people sell their OMI bags in hope of catching some little momentum of Bitcoin, etc. weekends. Yes, I think particularly some whales holding OMI have been selling for Bitcoin. And I think that was driving that, right? Because they're just impatient. They get tired. And so that is the definition of weak hands, in that they just don't believe in the project very much. And maybe they aren't following it closely. Maybe the FUD got to them. And so they see Bitcoin pumping and they're just like, no, I'm missing all these opportunities. And they chase boats that they've missed. And this is one of the big mistakes I see people make in the crypto space. I've also made this mistake in 2017, and I made it several times before I made this rule that I don't do that. And that rule has saved me so many times. Hey, what's going on, brother? Hey, Rain, with the recent announcement of the burn of the Senate token, do you think that this will be new lows for the coin? That this will be the new lows for the coin? I don't know that it'll create new lows for the coin. In fact, the burn thing just gets people excited, but you could see a return from this pump. Look, it's right up against resistance right here. Notice it's struggling with that. So one of two things is going to happen. It's going to break to the downside or break to the upside. Now, a lot of people who are holding this token think, I want it to break to the upside. I don't want it to break to the upside. I really believe in this project in the long term. So I want more of it, and I want more of it at cheaper prices. So I'm personally rooting for it to break to the downside, although I'm not going to try to FUD it to create that result. I'm just going to be honest with all of you. I love this project. This isn't even a bad price for it, but I want it to break to the downside because I don't want to be buying it at these prices. I was really happy with where the prices were at. Now, maybe it doesn't get back down to those prices, but if it goes halfway down there or more, I'll be really excited. Adult Playground. One day will be in the metaverse with their Apple Vision Pros on, watching the AI models. What's not to like? To the moon. It is very possible. It is very possible. You're seeing like OnlyFans, right? The amount of money OnlyFans is making. Somebody was telling me the owner of OnlyFans, or the creator, was making like $60,000 a minute or something, like just unfathomable amounts of money per minute from it. Multiverse X, sorry, not sure where the brain lapse came from. I can check that out. What is the SIDUS versus Senate? So what's SIDUS versus Senate tokens? So they have a dual token system, and they accomplish different things. A great way, CoinMarketCap is usually pretty good for researching that. So what you do, if you go down, you can sometimes see what the token is all about. What is Senate? Senate is the governance token of the SIDUS metaverse. Its application spans the political systems of the games, e.g. presidential and Senate elections, real estate processes, spaceship construction, and voting processes. Holders of Senate tokens may wield influence in the creation of factions and are required in project-level voting to determine game development. The Senate is used to obtain significant items like spaceships, land plots, and module ownership. The voting system will also involve the Senate token, whether through third-party solutions, You can read more about that on CoinMarketCap. Then you can go to the SIDUS token and read what is SIDUS. SIDUS serves as the utility token for the comprehensive SIDUS ecosystem and is integral to numerous in-game processes, including the labor market, transactional fees, upgrades, infrastructure, construction, marketplace operation, resource exchange, et cetera, et cetera. You can read that there. Tom Cruise, welcome, Tom Cruise. Hope this is the Tom Cruise. Of course, the Tom Cruise would be investing in blockchain gaming. I mean, why wouldn't he be smart enough to do that? Thanks for your work. What are your rules on when and how much to sell? Thanks in advance. Yeah, I like how you're articulate and to the point with your questions. So I do set up some rules on where I think my exit strategy is generally when I buy. But one of the things I'm waiting for is the bigger bull market. And how you know you're in a bull market when all those friends you were trying to talk to about crypto and they wanted nothing to do with it at all and told you to stop bringing up to them. Well, at some point, they're going to be calling you. And when you're getting calls from multiple ones of those, know that you should start getting worried. Why? Because they're coming late to the party. And these parties don't run for forever. Now, it will feel like when they're coming in that this is just the beginning, but it's probably mid to late game, and it's time to start considering exiting some of your positions and taking it out. So along the way, too, I sometimes take profits because what's interesting about the market is everything doesn't pump at the same time. Certain narratives hit, and then other narratives, and then other narratives. So right now, blockchain gaming is hitting. So it's not the worst strategy in the world to be taking profits on blockchain gaming projects that you bought at lows because you were following this channel and you heard me talking about them. And then you jumped in, did your own research and thought that it was massively underpriced. And so you went ahead and bought some because in your estimation, you like where things were at. And then it went up 5x on you. It is not the worst you're not truly taking profits. What you're doing is just then diversifying from something that is way up to something that is down, but you strongly believe in the future for. So one of the things that I've done is taken a little bit of profits and rolled that into other projects like OMI. Now, some people think that's crazy. Why would you buy more OMI when it's down? Because that's what I fucking do. I buy when it's cheap. Of course I buy when it's cheap. I buy when it's down. When do you think I buy? When it's up? Why do so many people do the reverse of this idea? And it's hard for people. And I get it because our emotions tell us to do the wrong thing. Here's what goes through most people's minds. This is exactly, unfortunately, what goes through people's minds. SIDUS token goes way, way up. Oh my gosh, I'm missing out on SIDUS. I need to dump my OMI. Keep in mind, let me show. So SIDUS goes way, way up. And what are they trying to do? Let me open up OMI. And they're like, oh my gosh, let me show even a smaller chart. Oh my gosh, OMI is down. I'm going to sell what's down to roll into where all the action is. In fact, did that video with Randy yesterday. Guess what one of the comments said? Why are you talking about OMI? It's a dead coin. Yes, it's cheap. A bunch of people are selling it. How else do you think you get prices at lows? What a lot of people want to do is they're like, okay, wow, SIDUS is hot. It just went 5x. I bet it'll go another 5x from here, they think. Now, could that happen? It could, but only if blockchain gaming continues in the narrative strongly for like the next month and a half. The chances of that are maybe 10 or 20%. What is more likely is a retracement happens soon to very soon. So they sold what was at a low, OMI, to roll into SIDUS that had just gone 5x. And what lesson do they learn? Well, the lesson they think they learn is crypto sucks. Crypto is a scam. That's not the lesson they learned. The lesson they learned is when you sell what's low to jump into what is high, it goes poorly for you. But they're not self-reflective enough to take ownership on their part and realize that was effing stupid of me. You know what they say? Crypto sucks. Oh, OMI's a scam. Blah, blah, blah. And they justify their decision rather than taking ownership and saying, crap, my bad decision. Why did I do that? Rain told me not to do that, and I did it anyway. Cool. That's the type of person that becomes rich in crypto because they learn from their mistakes. We all make mistakes. I made mistakes, but I knew the space was so what I was looking for. I was willing not to project the fault of my bad decisions onto other people, to take 100% ownership of all of it so that I was in a better position to learn, because I did not want to miss this tidal wave that's coming. And we've only felt a tiny bit of it. In fact, if you came in the last bull market near the top, you felt nothing but the after wave. You will see the next wave that's coming, and it will be the ride of your life. All right. Let me see. So late to knowing about Wilder World. Looks incredible. What are your thoughts on the Wild token Rain? We can probably take a look at it. I recently joined your private Discord, and you weren't lying. The best combos in alpha is definitely there. Thanks, Sourdy. It is. It is. I know. And sometimes it just means more to other people coming from you. Why? Because they're like, oh, yeah, he has a financial vested interest in saying that. It's $20 a month. If that is a massive amount of money to you, you might not belong there. Why? I used to throw parties. Many of you have heard this story, but when I was single years ago, and I used to throw these parties for free, and I rented a really nice house with some roommates so that we could live in a really nice house with an amazing backyard, putting green, hot tub that fit 15 people, pool, a waterfall, like everything, like a little cave and a water slide. And it was an amazing backyard, cabana, and the house itself was nice too. And I throw these parties, and I'd be like, just bring food. Because for me, it wasn't about making money. It was about networking, meeting cool people, helping people meet other cool people. And would you know that they were free? And a bunch of people showed up, and they'd be like, oh my gosh. And they just had complaint after complaint after complaint. And life is too short. I don't want to be around negative people like that. They're definitely not the type of people I wanted to network with. And they were not the type of people I even wanted at the party. But I thought, how do I remove them easily without making an issue that they feel totally excluded? You know what I did? $20 admission to the party. And guess what? All of the people that were the negative Nellies that just had all these complaints in life, you know what they don't do? They do not invest in experiences. They do not invest in their own education or their own things. And so $20 totally weeded them out. So absolutely, there's a price gate on the private Discord. Why? That's why it's so good. You will not see the same private or price gate on the Telegram group. And so there are some people in there that we have to kick frequently that are the negative Nellies. But it is free and they can just join anytime. What those negative Nellies never do, I have not had to kick one person from the Discord yet. I know that day will come, but is not yet. And we've had it going for about 2 years. Okay. David Yu said only buy VV NFTs if you like them. Yes, and I do like the Lamborghini NFTs. I will buy them. I'm just waiting to buy them because there's other things I'm putting that money into. James Wood, just signed up for your course, buddy. Would be crazy not to with the discount. It is true. And yes, I love and hate that price. I love that price because y'all get it, but I hate the price because so many people are getting it that's pumping the price on what I'm buying too. And I wish I could have my cake and eat it too, which tell you all about it. But then the prices stayed at the absurdly low prices that they were at, completely at the floor, like they were when I first released the course like 3.5 weeks ago. But shoot, I'm not too upset because that means all of you are taking advantage of this moment in time. And that has its own rewards to me. Caspa Jeremy says, GFAL has been amazing, been DCAing since July. That's awesome. Yes, I think it's got a bright future. Now, sometimes major people like that come in and make mistakes and it doesn't come together, but it usually does. Does the same apply to OMI? Should we buy because we like OMI? Well, I mean, if you think about it, do you like tokens? To me, it's kind of like, do you like dollar bills? Well, I like what the dollar bills represent, but I don't personally I don't look at a dollar bill and be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So I like what it represents, that it will buy stuff. So what does OMI represent to me? It represents a percent chance that in the future it'll be worth a lot more than it is today. And so what that chance is, we all have to determine for ourselves. Now, a lot of people who are brand new to crypto, they look at the charts and they have what I call recency bias, or I don't just call it recency bias. The psychologists call it recency bias. So they see the charts looking like this. And so what do they assume? What has been happening is what's going to continue to happen. But is that really the case? Let's look at GFA, or let's look at SIDUS from there. Oh my gosh. So when I was talking about SIDUS, what was some people saying when I was talking about SIDUS? You're an idiot. SIDUS is a dead token. Oh my gosh, it's not going anywhere. Why would you cover this project? You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I don't. Well, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Oh, I totally missed, like I was sharing the wrong tab. That happens to me on StreamYard. Killing me. So see this? What's happening is going to continue to happen is what people imagine. So I was covering, see this, right at these numbers here. And then it did this. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if car manufacturers sued, but what do I know? Sued Vivi. They made the deal with Vivi. How is Vivi's model any different from Gala's? It's massively different from Gala's. I don't even see the similarities. How would you split the OMI? Would you put it all in the app to get MCP points, or would you split them up to be able to sell them fast when they pump? I put in the max amount I could because I have tens of millions of OMI. So I put in the max amount I could. And you may think that's a big number. Look, I wish I'd gotten OMI at an even better price. I went pretty heavy into it with some pretty large amounts when it was a lot higher than it is today. And so I'm down about 65% on my OMI at these prices. In fact, I'm probably down a little bit more than that. And I'm okay with it. That's cool. I've been dollar cost averaging more, and that's been bringing my DCA down. I didn't know it'd go this cheap because I don't have a magic crystal ball either. Now, you would have thought I was an idiot too last bear market because I had Axie Infinity and all it had done is go down from where I bought it at until it went up. And then it went up 100x from what I bought it at. And people are like, oh, you're a genius. Yeah. Then it went up, 30x from what I sold at, because I sold at 100x. So look, I'm just an investor. I have to make decisions. So did I think I was onto something with Axie Infinity? Yes. Do I think I'm onto something with OMI? Yes. Do I know for sure it's going to go just fine? I don't. There's no magic crystal ball. You're just playing the chances, and you have to evaluate what the chances are for yourself. What do you say to people who say OMI has already had its biggest run in 2021 and that altcoins typically have one big run up? Typically they do, but I look at specific circumstances of each thing. Now, last run up, it did 3000x. Will OMI do 3000x from where it's at? It could. It's less likely to. Will I have a big run up from here? I really think so. The use case wasn't even rolled out. The burn mechanism for the bronze tickets isn't rolled out. And some of those things could combine into another run that could go 3000x. But the chances are unlikely that it'll go 3000x like it did last bear market. But it was way harder last time. It was a way riskier project to invest in last bear market. The chances that it failed last bear market were way higher. Rain, you said the other day that Gala said, don't buy to invest. Vivi says a thing. Oh, okay. So that's what you're saying is the same. That makes more sense. So when you're selling collectibles, which is what Vivi sells, they can't be trying to call them collectibles and saying they're investments. That might get them deemed a security. So they are just collectibles. Now, ask Randy Chavez if collectibles can go up in value, because he made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of cardboard with stuff printed on it called Pokemon cards. So can collectibles go up in value? Yes. Now, OMI, it's a token. The OMI isn't the collectibles themselves. But one of the things I'm cautious on right now is the VV collectibles. Yes, I have bought more Darth Vaders and more Boba Fett's. Why? That's top IP, and I like that. Am I buying most of the new drops on VV? No. Some of the comic book ones I am. There are some other NFTs and other projects that I think are lower priced for the IP that they have that's in the course that I am buying actively. And so I don't want to pay $60 for a Lambo on VV when I can get 30 of these other moments that might have similar upside price potential as the $60 Lambo on VV. Yeah, I can get 30 of this other thing at $2 a piece, and then just sell a couple of them to buy Lambos because they possibly have the same upside potential. So that's what I've been doing. So do I like the collectibles on VV? A lot. Have I been spending a lot of my money on them? No, because there are better options. And so like we're in a place that still there's tons of good options. Like everything's still relatively cheap, because I think the bull market for the most part rises all boats. It's just relatively cheap, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, let's jump into, I don't think you buy OMI to invest. I do. Cool. If you have a different opinion on that, that's great. All right, let's look at some of these ones that were suggested earlier. Cypherium. Cool. I love it when I can find it on. Let's research some together. Cypherium. The first thing I want to look at is their entire chart. I want to get a feel for how long has this token been tradable. So it came out right during the metaverse bump, and it was as high as 11 cents. It's down just 90%. So this is trading really strangely. It's only on MEXC, which is also really strange. Cypherium is a layer 1 blockchain protocol designed to offer financial inclusions for its users while delivering operational efficiencies for its enterprise and institutional partners. Using a hybrid consensus mechanism, the Cypherium blockchain is designed to achieve commercial viability while preserving the characteristics of decentralizations and distributed ledger technology. As a proof of work blockchain, Cypherium does not run the risk of being classified as a security. I'm not seeing enough reasons to really like this. Now, it's a first layer blockchain that only has a market cap of 7,000. They've not caught any general traction at all. I've got some concerns. So pulling them up, they've got 31K followers. Looks like they're not very active on their Twitter. I am not extremely interested in this. I'm I'm not at all interested in it. Now, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something hot that I don't know, but that's just my quick read on it, that there's an abundance of options. I'm trying to, first of all, screen out the 70% I'm completely not interested in. And this barely falls within that 70%. There could be enough to include in the remaining 30%. But even if I did include this in the remaining 30%, it would definitely not make the top 10% of that list, which is it's 3% of the projects or less that are interesting to me. Cool. I appreciate the suggestion though, so that we could go through that together. Okay. And CU says it has smart contracts as proof of work and ISO 222 standard. So they have lots of key buzzwords. And I noticed that as I was reading the details about them, they're good at saying the right buzzwords. That's almost a red flag to me when they say all the right buzzwords, but there doesn't seem to have, like, I want substance, and I wasn't getting the substance filled. All right. You know what? Let's check out Adult Playground. Oh, I probably should be careful typing that into Twitter. Who knows what I might get. Let's go to, I just realized that. Let's go over to Coin Market Cap and put that in. That was probably almost a bad experience there. Adult. Okay, I'm getting nothing there. What is a way I can search for that without having problems? Coin Gecko might have it. And if they, oh yes, okay. Adult Playground. Adult is a token. Okay, adultplayground.club. Wow. Okay. So unleash your deepest fantasies. Dive in the future of adult entertainment industry and the premier brand of universe. Now, do realize that Vice is basically you saw some like projects come out like a year ago that were like, oh, this is just going to be like Grand Theft Auto 5. And so they had lots of buzzwords, but they were somewhat short on the substance. And it was hard to tell if there was enough substance there. Those projects haven't really taken off yet, and they could, but realize that Vice is sometimes pumps as the narrative hits really well, even if there's not much substance there. But I do want substance. So pursue your deepest, darkest fantasies and do so free of okay. That is enough for videos. I'm not going to monetize this one anyway, but let's just say cool. That's enough for that. Let's look at what else we can about them. Twitter, let's look at their number of followers. 1,900 followers. That's interesting. That's not very high. I can't say I've grown up pretty religious. I can't say that I have like a whole lot of experience. In fact, sometimes like not tons of experience in this whole Vice category. So I'm just actually scared to scroll down their Twitter as to what might pop up. So I would love to be able to research this one better and see. I am concerned about their total number of Twitter followers, that's not very substantive. Let's look at their price. So they started out October 2023. So they have not been out very long. They've totally pumped. I'm concerned about, a dump that might happen after this as tokens start vesting. So I would be very cautious on this one. It's got a cool narrative. Are they going to be able to deliver? There's a lot of these projects that launch because it's Vice. They can raise funds and people are like, oh, this could be cool if it's like OnlyFans. Okay, so does OnlyFans type stuff need to be on blockchain? No. Would it work on it in a metaverse? Maybe. We haven't seen that it will. Now, at some point, they'll have haptics and other things. But that's haptics and everything. That's 4 to 8 years down the road. Is Adult Playground going to survive till then? Probably not, is my guess. Now, They don't have to for you to make money. The bigger question is, are they going to do well from here into the coming bull run? Maybe, and maybe enough. All right, let's get into gaming tokens. That was an interesting adventure. We'll call it that. So thank you, Russ. That is as deep as I want to go into that adventure, though. Ontology. Let's go back to gaming ones. I'm interested in what's going on with Ontology's price, though. Somebody suggested that on our Wednesday ones with Paul. And you know what? They ran up recently. They're still like overall down, but this pattern usually breaks out to the upside. So like I said, a lot of things are going to go up. And so we're just trying to get the best of it. Now, if it went to the previous highs from here, that's a 50x. I don't know that this will. I don't know that it'll have enough traction. It was a layer one idea similar to NEOs out of Asia, specifically China, that hasn't won the argument as a way to do it. So you would have your main chain tokens, and for holding those, you would get gas distributed to you. And that gas you could then use for gas on the system. Instead of like ETH, you spend actual ETH for gas. So Ontology had a secondary token called Ontology Gas that you would then get as gas that paid the fees. And you would get a certain amount given to you just by holding Ontology. And I like that idea. It hasn't caught traction since 2017. So you see, even the last bull market, it still got punished. Now, part of the reason is Asian projects in general got punished. I know OneChain went through this punishment, even though they're fully international and their main headquarters, I think, is out of Texas in the United States for OneChain. They got punished for that, and which is crazy. And OneChain, full disclosure, is a strategic partner of the channel, and I'm a really big fan of OneChain. And yet they got punished. At least that's what the team told me, that a lot of people categorize it as a Chinese token, which they were confused by because their headquarters out of the US. But I don't know if the headquarters was initially out of the US. And some of the team that works for them is from China, and they are freaking brilliant. But you didn't see, because remember, during this bear market, China closed off to all crypto projects, which really hurt a lot of projects. Even it hurt Polkadot tremendously, because like 50% of the developers for Polkadot and even investors were out of Asia, specifically China. And so Polkadot, even though not from it, got punished too in the 2021 bull market and didn't do near as good as it could have. All right, let's look at, come on, gaming tokens. What other ones do you want to look at? Why OMI dumping while everything else going up? Because that's what happens in the crypto space. And this is why I like diversification, because then I'm not missing out. Something in my portfolio is pumping usually. And then I can decide to take profits on that and roll it in something I believe in that's down. But when you're only holding one token, it is absolutely exasperating when it seems like everything else is pumping and you just watch your value go down by half. That's a rough position to be in. And you're often then not patient enough to wait it out. You end up selling what's at all-time lows or near all-time lows to buy something that just went 5x. And that usually ends poorly. Justin thinks Vivi is the new Gala. I don't think it's even close. I don't think that's what made Gala do bad. What made Gala do bad is a couple of things. Number one, their two founders are fighting, and that's not helpful. Number two, they've continued with this model of, we're going to sell the legendary NFT for $12,000, and you'll be able to get more tokens for playing our game if you use this one. And then we'll sell the, like, whatever, rare one for like $5,000, and we'll sell the common one for $800. And you'll be able to learn less for it. But if you want to play our game, you have to buy these NFTs. So the entry level to play their damn game is $800. I don't like that. Secondly, when they were doing, I forget the name of their like metaverse one that they're developing, which the metaverse looks really cool, but they sold stables for it. And my understanding, this is just my understanding, is that the promise was, oh, you'll be able to breed horses out of this and everything, and you'll be able to make a bunch of money. And then to everyone's surprise, later, like 6 months later, they then sold horses, which the stable owners thought they would have an exclusive to creating horses. And that was not the case. And so they felt massively burned, and they didn't spend a cheap amount on those stables. Randy now pumping Bojack Horseman coin. I know nothing about Bojack Horseman coin. Sounds interesting. Like yeah, I don't know what that is. All right. So other gaming projects. I mean, one that we've talked about a lot and is worth talking about is Myria. I like this project. I've one of the few people that have spoken with the founder. He's amazing. And I was only able to speak with him because the CMO had to bail on our meeting. And so we had the founder fill in. He's a pretty private person, the founder. And talking to him, he was really high level smart, really cool, not arrogant at all, really humble, and yet extremely smart. And those combinations in a person, I don't run across that much ever. And I was just totally blown away by the conversation with him. Now, Gala hit these really good lows and everybody was scared. And oh my gosh, it's just going down. And I said, I like these prices. They're amazing. And then it went up. So a lot of people are like, should I buy? Now, I do suspect that there's going to be another leg up from here. I don't know that there is. I just suspect there is. So let's look at some of the details too to see what's going on with them. Let's look at Twitter, and their Twitter has 221,000 followers. Okay, those are good numbers. That's what we like to see. Myria token is live on OKX. Okay, that's cool. It's getting on a lot of exchanges, and people who are OMI fans like, what? Why is Myria getting on all these exchanges? Well, look, it's gettable. Ecomi's token OMI is gettable for anyone who wants to get it. If you're in the US, you can use Bitforex and get it, or you can just use MetaMask. Now, MetaMask, you pay the Uniswap fees to get it. So I prefer exchanges, but you can get it through Bitforex. And if you don't have an account for that, there should be a link below. Bitforex works just great for me. I don't mind it. But yes, VV hasn't put the investment into getting their token on more exchanges yet. Now, I do know a lot of exchanges really made it hard for tokens to get listed on it because they kind of wanted to see what the US SEC was going to do. And so there has been a big slowdown on tokens getting listed on new exchanges while that regulatory uncertainty is there. And I wish there was greater regulatory clarity. For some reason, Gary Gensler says that all the regulatory clarity is there, which is just gaslighting. It's not there, and it's not there on purpose. Why? I don't know. I don't know. There's some agenda Gary Gensler has that he's not telling people, and I could only guess what that is. So good numbers there, like lots of posts, high-level look on it. Let's look at website. Whoa. I don't want to connect right now, but Myria, here's where you can connect and check out your nodes and everything, and see your tokens. Obviously, I've talked a lot about, I've got 21 nodes on Myria. I earn like 40,000 or just under 40,000 now a day tokens of Myria. So it's cool. It ends up being just under 1.2 million a month. And big investment in Myria because I believe in it. If you're interested in Node, I think there might be a link below. If not, I can get you one. If you use my node to buy it and you don't want to manage your own node, which I don't want to manage my own nodes, virtual private servers so that you can manage your own node if you're interested in a virtual private server will cost you $20 a month. I do have a connection that gave us a bulk discount that not only does he have the virtual private servers you need to run it, but he'll only charge you $17 a month per node. So that's cheaper than I'd be able to run it myself. What I didn't want to do is try to run it from a computer for home. And even though it'd be free per month to do that, like if I'm out of town for 2 weeks and the electricity switches off and my computer then shuts off, or for whatever reason, my computer like restarts and all of a sudden there's an update and it restarts and that node goes offline for 2 weeks, I'm going to miss out on a ton of money. So that was not, and plus I didn't want to have 21 computers running it. So I opted for that. Ed Jones. See, this is the kind of question that I wanted. What gaming project are you most bullish on this next cycle reign? Thank you for the great information, content, learning from you, man. Appreciate that. Most bullish, Sean. So there's different risk levels. At Myria's token price here, I might have said Myria. At the token price, or let me show you the token price down here, I was like, this token is undervalued. I don't know, maybe it keeps going down with the price pressure, but at some point it will flip around because buy pressure on Myria will exceed the null holders selling their tokens that they receive, and at some point it will flip to the upside. Now, will it stay to the upside? I don't know. I think it breaks up one more time, and then it probably comes down. But I don't have a magic crystal ball. It's just my guess on what will happen. So that's one of my favorites, but I'm price sensitive too, right? So one of my other favorites is SIDUS and Senate. And a lot of people say, oh, well, yes, it did just pump. Its market cap for the Senate token is still just 11 million, though it's not as attractive as it was here. But these boats may come back to the dock. And that's what you're waiting for. So note that I'm not buying more Senate at these prices. I'm not buying more Myria at these prices. What am I buying? Well, the projects I talked about in that course, I'm buying the stuff from those. Why? Because their ships are at port. So what gaming project am I most bullish on? Probably overall Myria, but I like Senate. Senate is a little bit riskier, but riskier also means higher potential upside. I like games for a living, but I'm waiting for that boat to come back to port before I load up on it. I really, really like who's behind games for a living and think they have a good chance. There's other ones like I know there's a bunch of other ones. I don't talk about them all that much. Like Vulcan Forged is a big one that I don't talk about that much. And I know Crypto Banter's guy talks about Vulcan Forged all the time. That's cool. It's all right. Like it did recently pump from, so it just went 5x. That's cool. And they'll probably do pretty well in the bull run. I haven't talked with the team, and maybe that's why I'm just less bullish on them. I am liking this level of graphics. So they have updated their website. And I like that. The way their website was before, I can't say I loved it. And so it was having a hard time. Like it just felt cheap. So I like that they did a major overhaul and their website feels less cheap. And this was what I would expect to see. I don't know who the team is behind it. And at this point, who the team is behind it and who their lead devs are is what's going to make all the difference. So I do like it if they speak Chinese, though. I mean, I don't know what this means. I don't speak any. Okay, so maybe they speak Korean. That's good news because I do think some of the studios that have better connections to Asia will have an advantage because Korea per capita spends more than the US citizens do per capita on video gaming items. And so China and Korea and the rest of Asia are really huge markets that hopefully they can hit. So I would like to like Vulcan Forge more, but I don't know the team yet. So I have a hard time making that decision. They have been around for a long time, and I like that about them. So in the last bear market, they went to $1.20 at the bottom. They recently hit $2.80 at the lows. Then they only went up 35x, which isn't a tremendous amount. But I guess they came out during the bull market, truthfully. So they weren't totally at the bottom to begin with. So I don't know what their ICO price was. Let's see if we can find that out. Vulcan Forged IDO price. And let's see if that gives us some results. Often with something simple like that, and let me change it to ICO price. Okay. But come on, ICO marks. They might have went out of business because I don't know that they're making any money with it. ICO hot list. Okay, I'm glad our connection is secure. Will they tell us what they sold for? Shoot, it's not telling us what they sold for. And we try to get the white paper and it cannot be found. A lot of times you can find out what their ICO price was, because maybe even it came out right around the early part of the bull market in March. And so maybe it was already massively up from the original price. Dang. I am not seeing what I want for their... Maybe this has... Let me see. Maybe this has price we're looking for. So this is just what research looks like. And sometimes it's just like putting clues together. Initial price right here. We found it. 40 cents. Okay, so it went pretty good for those that got it at the ICO or IDO or whatever it was. So now we know a good bit of information. So then let's go back here. So Vulcan Forge, initial price was 40 cents. It went right away during April and May. It went all the way up to 540. So it went up 14x. Then it came down a little bit during that summer, and then it went all the way to $44. So 100x from ICO price, not bad. And then it's been punished, went all the way down during the bear market like everything else, and has been running with blockchain gaming. Cool. What's our market cap now? $171 million. Okay, $171 million. Cool. Why is it going to be... Let's see. Pyre expected to be a top A altcoin pick in the next bull market. Okay, that's nice that you're saying that, but why? Let's look and see. Cryptocurrency analyst believes now could be the perfect time to stock up on PYR. And this was written 10 days ago. Well, 10 days ago was a little bit earlier in the pump, which is nice. The cryptocurrency analyst and trader Crypto Tony shared an X post with the next few months will be the perfect time to start stocking up on altcoins before the next bull market. PYR is one altcoin in particular that has caught the attention of the analyst. Okay. I don't know anything about Crypto Tony. Maybe he's smart. A lot of people in the space new to investing. And so I have to see what their analysis is based on. And this doesn't give us as much on what the analysis is based on. So that's more information I would like to see. Sometimes you get some good information on the right of this. Lava and Elysium continue their integrations across exchanges. Welcome to MEXC. And remember, Pyre is the gateway to Lava by holding or by playing. Interesting. PYR is Vulcan Forge Pyre price analysis. Clean reclaim of the 6.361. Then we should head to 995 next, in my opinion. Cool. So sometimes you get some different opinions on the right side, and I like that. All right, let me get back in the comments. Sorry, I think Spores Network is still a great buy rein. They haven't run as much as other gaming coins, probably because of the public trust issues from the hack a couple months ago. Yes, they are a launch pad, and there was a hack of where you could stake your tokens with Spores. So they had a third party you could stake with, and somebody hacked that third party and stole a bunch of tokens from at least Spores, if not a couple projects. And that caused a token fall off down here. That was frustrating. Or no, it ran up from the bottom. So this is one of the ones. Spores was one of the ones I called in December to my private Discord. First, one of actually my gold members reached out to me and asked me what my top couple ones were. And so I told them Spores and Bumper and a few other ones. And right after, like, they absolutely took off. And that was not from my discussion. But I did, after I told him the next 2 days, I told my general group in the Discord what I had shared with him. And a lot of these actually took off. Spores went 10x. But this is where the hack happened and brought it down. And so it's been a little bit slow, but it's only 2x from this low here. And its market cap is just $700,000. That's the kind of market cap that if a project like this went to $100 million market cap, that's like 130x from here. And that's only $100 million market cap. So that's why I sometimes like these really juicy low market caps. I do like Duke and Eric, who run Spores. You know, it's a smaller team that works really hard. They could always quit on their vision. I don't think they will, but that's always the risk. Their overhead isn't very expensive, and they still launch a bunch of projects. And they're very dialed into the Western markets and also the Asian gaming markets. And that's one of the ones why I really, really like Spores. And I'm a huge holder myself. AVAX gaming token picking up traction. Bull game looking for a solid pick. Domi did a cool 800% recently. Let's take a look at Bull games. I think I'm saying it right, but it's like 3U. No, 3U. Play a Bull Games is the name of this, and it's kind of fun. And I don't know why they used a 3, but it's still a pretty fun name. Let's look at. So they have run up tremendously, and it makes sense for games to be launching on either a layer 2 or on something like Avalanche, because the speeds are what you need at a minimum for gaming. So we saw, looks like the price went 4.5x from the bottom just recently with the rest of the market. Now, their token hasn't been tradable for all that long. And if you are really interested in this, the next step you have to do is the ticker symbol for the game is 3ULL. So let's search L token ICO price. See what we can find. So here's a little bit of the roadmap. Here's their ICO details. That's not what I was looking for. What I was hoping for is what their token vesting schedule is. And this has some information, though not verified, on who the team is. But probably I could click on that and get their LinkedIn, check it out. I like to, when I'm researching, see who the people are running it. If I'm going to buy something, let's see. Let's go token vesting. So this is what I wanted to do with you all today, is some research and just show you how I do the research and like screening. It's important to screen. And so I thought, let's just do it together. I'm not seeing where it is. Okay. Siege Equam, Crypto Rain, did I miss your answer to my earlier question? If I did, I apologize. Well, missing it. I don't remember seeing, did it filter out your previous question? There's a few like symbols and other things that YouTube doesn't like. And so I don't even remember seeing your previous question. So please ask again. I don't remember seeing a previous question from you, so it might have gotten screened out and not showing up on my thing. Game Trove, hey Rain, great to have you jump in on Monday. Yes, thanks for lining that up. Game Trove lined up an interview, and I actually quite liked them. It's a new project that's doing a pre-sale, and it was I'll pull it up right here. Dun, dun, dun. Army of Fortune. And I liked a few things that they were doing that was really, really cool. And so they're a smaller independent studio, but really doing some cool things. So Army of Fortune, Game Trove has been covering them on his channel. So if you want to find out information of the best information sources, go to Game Trove's channel, and you'll be able to get a bunch of information on them. They are doing a pre-sale raise for their tokens. And they are doing some cool things. And I like both the CEO and the CMO joined the chat, and I was able to get to know them better. We did have a private chat with them on our Rainmaker Discord. And so if you join, or you've already joined, you can actually find that from Monday. Posted it right in the Rainmakers feed, and had a private interview with them and asked them a bunch of questions. So you can see what that is. Opinion about Delicium AGI. I don't know anything about it. Really cool profile pic though, Crypto Lord. Delicium. Why don't we look that up? So Delicium. Okay, so price has absolutely been punished. That doesn't scare me away. They've reasonably pumped up. Whew, they doubled there. So let's go logarithmic and get a better feel. So the bottom was at 1.2 cents. It's presently, so it's almost tripled. It's 2.5x. What is Delicium AGI? Sometimes coin market cap has a better Delicium. Delicium and Microsoft collaborate to propel decentralization AI into mainstreams. Delicium, a pioneering force in the decentralized technology, has recently unveiled a strategic partnership with Microsoft, aiming to simplify the intricate landscape of blockchain and artificial intelligence. This collaboration seeks to eliminate barriers to entry making the benefits of decentralized technology more accessible to the average internet user. The power of Delicium's AI agent network. At the core of the collaboration is Delicium's groundbreaking AI agent network system designed to facilitate secure data sharing among different AI agents. So here's where the real partnership is. So sometimes a lot of these things are kind of a smokescreen. So it seems like they just partnered with Microsoft, and Microsoft is somehow like got some big investment in them. That's probably not what's happening here. It seems like they are customers of Microsoft using the Microsoft's Azure cloud platform. Did they probably sign some kind of agreement that could be considered a customer agreement, but could be considered a strategic partnership? Yes, that's what this sounds like. But realize that they're probably just a customer of Microsoft. Yet the way this is written, it seems like Microsoft is like totally partnering with them. And that might be an overstatement. The goal of Delicium is to construct a virtual world where 1 billion individuals and 100 billion AI virtual beings coexist on blockchain. These virtual beings are not limited to only digital version of ourselves, but also companions and non-player characters who can travel across diverse scenarios, including games. Let's look at price. Okay, so they launched in April 2023, right when the AI narrative was huge. This could have been thrown together really fast because the AI narrative was out, and they threw together a concept really quick so that they could make a bunch of money from the token, which they probably did, because realize their market cap is still at 25 million, even after it's dumped tremendously. So they probably raised a whole bunch of money and have a whole bunch of money. And I'm extremely cautious on this one. I'm not very interested. Do I like the idea of AI? Yes. Let me ask you, how does AI really relate to blockchain? How do those work together? Oh yeah, AI can make it better. Yeah, in general terms, but specifically, like what specifically? Like I want to know substantively, because what I've seen since I came into crypto in 2017 is a whole bunch of projects launching talking about how we're AI enabled or we're going to use AI. And the delivery on that has been almost nothing. Now, there are a few projects that use the AI narrative that I believe in, and that's because they have the godfather of AI working with them. Short of that, I'm skeptical when I see AI because it's one of those buzzwords that people are able to raise a whole bunch of money on. Why? Because it's hard to invest in AI. You can invest in Google and therefore AI, or Microsoft and therefore AI in some senses, but it's not like you can buy directly just into the AI portion. So people were just throwing money at AI projects. This launched right in the height of that. So I am skeptical of Delicium. And when they came out, this was right during the hype earlier this year of AI. And I saw in like the VC chats and stuff, and this AI project is launching this and this and this. And these were just scrapped together projects. I read a couple white papers and I was like, this is just trash. So I don't know. Delicium is top notch AAA gaming, AI, and metaverse combined project. Is it though? I have to say, I do absolutely love your thumbnail. And it's a really cool profile pic. But like, okay, let's look at the team because I want to see a top level team. Community, marketplace. Where's the team? I want the team. Who is this team? Because that's everything. Sometimes the white paper will have it. This white paper is really, really short. Yeah, where are we seeing the team? What am I missing on the team? I'm not seeing a lot on the team. Like, who is the team behind this? Yeah, I just want to see more on the team. I'm not finding that yet. All right. Community, introduction. Maybe the introduction will say. Web3 gaming partners, block raiders, Axie Guild, ASL Guild. So a lot of the guilds. So that I like to see. Guilds, especially some of the bigger guilds, like are going to be careful about who, like they're going to be doing some vetting before they just like, okay, we're going to prepare to work with you. And we don't know the strength of whatever these partnerships are. Contributors, makers fund. So this can be helpful. Who invested in them? And this is who invested in them. Blockchain, coin investors, makers fund, Jets Capital. I'm not seeing YGG, SEA. If that YGG is Yield Guild Gaming, that's cool that they invested in them. Metaverse DAO. I don't recognize most of these investors in them. So none of the big funds that I can see went in them. We'll see. Like I would like to see more substance from them than I'm seeing. Let's see if we can figure out what is. Okay, 219K followers. What kind of engagement do they have? Because you can buy followers on Twitter. What kind of engagement are they getting? So 263 retweets, 214 comments. So that's pretty good, actually. That's what I want to see. 327 likes, 11,000 people viewed it. Okay. I'm starting to like what I see here. So Crypto Lord, I was about to be like, this is in the 70% that gets screened out. So this is in the 30%. Is it in the 30% that's interesting? That would take more research, though. I don't like it when they oversell this Delicium with Microsoft thing, but almost all crypto projects do that. So if I screened out every project that did that, I'd be screening out like 99.5% of the crypto space. they usually overstate that. And I just learned that the hard way, right? Oh my gosh, we partnered with Amazon. I was like, oh, what a big deal. And all that really meant was they were using Amazon Web Services. But I was new to crypto. I didn't understand that yet. Free agent. AGIX, yes, that Singularity DAO, AGIX is the one I was talking about that I'd like, right? It's the godfather of AI. And he's with Dr. Ben Gorsel. He also has worked with some other projects. And that guy is certified in AI. He's not just a hype piece thrown about. All right, cool. Well, that's a lot about what I want to talk about today. Any other blockchain gaming? I wanted to do some research together and just kind of dig in deeper. Look, we've had a little bit of an awakening that people are like, oh my gosh, that doesn't mean there won't be some setbacks above. In fact, I would just expect that. And if it doesn't happen, cool. And if it does, cool. You're already expecting it. Generally, though, if you're here to this point and you've been in the space for the last 2 years, you've gone through endless punishment and you're probably tired of getting kicked when you're down. And you're probably exhausted of getting kicked when you're down. And it's when you can't even stand it anymore that is all done. And are you to that point that you can't even stand it anymore? Well, you haven't capitulated and left yet, which is what happens with most people. So either that says something about you or means we haven't been kicked hard enough yet. But I don't know which of those. We'll see. Next year should, at some point next year, be pretty good. And if it's not, the following year should be amazing. I don't know exactly how that will play out. I do know there's a lot to be excited for. I felt this way last bear market too. And I remember the shift as we're shifting into this. And it's still hard to say exactly when it will play out. But the shift is happening. The momentum is shifting from a bear market to a bull market. And that's exciting. What about SOPH? Interesting project with on Singularity, very low market cap. Well, let's look at that. Appreciate the suggestion, BVV. I don't know about that one, what it is. So, but I don't mind seeing if we can find it. So like Sophia is like his robot, right? Sophia verse. So it's probably related to that. And people are hungry for something truly AI that they can invest in. Notice it came out as the AI stuff really pumped. It came out a little bit late in that and pumped up massively. Went through a retracement. So how much substance is there to it? I don't know. Let's check out their Twitter. Not bad. 107K followers, especially if they're all legit and they didn't buy them. Sophia is a really good robot, like Sophia verse. Does that make sense? I don't know. This has Ben Gorsel right here. I can't say I know tons about it other than Sophia is the name of his robot he's been developing. And I got to see Sophia talk and interact in person at a Cardano summit. That was a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of metaverse plays, and a lot of them will not take off and do well, and some of them will. And sometimes you don't even need what you're investing in to do well long term, if it'll just do well from the bear market to the bull market. So, all right. That is a lot of what I had for today, and appreciate you all joining me on this journey and taking a look at some research. Hopefully that was helpful to a lot of you. When I was new, I got tricked by like Amazon partnerships, and it was just customer of Amazon Web Services and other things. And I learned how to sort and sift and get a feel for things and just narrow it down. And I don't have to know every crypto project. I don't even have to catch all the wins. I obviously want to catch as many of the wins as I can, but you won't hit every at bat, and it's okay. What you're looking for is to up your batting average over time, get really good at this so that you're taking bets where the odds are stacked in your favor. And even if you are taking bets that the odds are stacked in your favor, you'll still sometimes lose some, and that's okay. That's part of being in this big boy space. And the deep water of crypto, there are sharks in this deep water. But that's also why there's so much gold here, is that, there are lots of sharks, and a lot of people are scared to get in. And when you get good at sorting and sifting and finding those good projects, that's how you become a solid and shakable crypto investor You become really good at this. And if you can be really good at this one thing, I don't see why you don't hit all your financial goals in the coming years. All right, I'm going to leave you all with our Crypto Rain wrap. Enjoy, and we will see you all soon. If you haven't, check out Dr. of Stuff's recent videos, Dr. of Stuff, and he did these take-aparts of some FUD on OMI, and they are exceptional. You will not want to miss it. He is very bright. I do know what he does in his day job. He is extremely smart. He doesn't talk about what he does in his day job. He gets paid a lot of money to be really smart. Let's just put it that way.
Came into the space, chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit bad before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I take the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't leave with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but with knowledge the game show. Thinking out this wrong, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. Sticking around, the time is better. Strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. They go with the hate, say the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough. And that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.